The third Avatar movie, titled Avatar: Fire and Ash, is building up the hype with its first teaser trailer, and fans are already freaking out about who might die. While the trailer seems to tease the deaths of some key characters like Neytiri and Spider, it might actually be hiding the biggest loss of all: Jake Sully. The movie is set to release on December 19, 2025, and from the looks of it, the emotional and action-packed journey will be taking a darker turn this time. And this time, the stakes feel more real than ever. For a franchise that's known for its epic visuals, huge battles, and deep emotional storytelling, it's kind of surprising how few major deaths we've seen across the first two films. In the first Avatar movie, we saw Trudy Chacon, the brave pilot, and Dr. Grace Augustine, played by Sigourney Weaver, meet tragic ends. Though Grace's fate was left a bit mysterious, especially with her spiritual connection to Iowa and her link to the new character Kiri, it was still a significant loss. Itukin and Tsuti, two major Na'vi leaders, also died in the first film at the hands of the RDA. Then came Avatar: The Way of Water, which only really gave us one big character death, Jake and Neytiri's oldest son, Netium. Of course, there were tons of nameless soldiers and Na'vi lost during the intense battle scenes, but the core cast mostly survived. Fire and Ash looks like it's finally ready to break that pattern and really shake things up. And the trailer is making it clear: no one is safe. One of the biggest moments in the trailer is a shot of Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, lying in what looks like a medical facility, screaming in pain. She's clearly badly injured or possibly sick, and considering how often she's in the middle of brutal combat, it wouldn't be a surprise if she was wounded in one of those clashes. Fans are already speculating whether this could be the beginning of the end for her. Neytiri has always been one of the strongest and most emotionally driven characters in the series, and seeing her in such a vulnerable state is jarring. Then there's Spider, the human boy who grew up with the Na'vi and whose story got really complicated in The Way of Water. He's the biological son of Quaritch, but instead of siding with the humans, he chose to live with the Na'vi, even if that meant struggling with the atmosphere of Pandora. Since he's not Na'vi himself, Spider always has to wear a mask that lets him breathe safely. But in the Fire and Ash trailer, we see him collapse in the forest, apparently because his mask stops working. That moment alone has fans seriously worried. Is this the end for Spider? Is he going to die from exposure? But then, in another part of the trailer, we see him running freely through the jungle without a mask. Could this mean he's somehow changed his body to survive on Pandora without needing it? The Avatar franchise has always loved exploring the line between human and Na'vi. Grace tried to fully become one, Jake did become one, and now maybe Spider is next. But even if he doesn't need a mask anymore, Spider's still clearly in danger. There's a tense scene where he's seen dangling off a rock during a wild action sequence, and that's not all. Let's not forget Neytiri almost killed him in The Way of Water as revenge against Quaritch. That moment showed how fragile his place in the story really is. He's a wild card, caught between two worlds and never fully accepted by either. That alone makes his survival uncertain. However, while the trailer focuses a lot on the dangers facing Neytiri and Spider, there's one character who's quietly building up to what might be his final stand: Jake Sully. From the beginning, Jake has been the heart and soul of the franchise. a human who chose to leave his old life behind and fully embrace Pandora and its people. He's gone through a massive journey, from soldier to father to leader. And now, it kind of feels like his story is reaching its natural end. In the Fire and Ash trailer, Jake is seen doing everything from flying through the sky on a banshee to fighting Quaritch again in some pretty epic battle scenes. But there's also one shot that really stands out. Jake is shown in RDA custody, being paraded through a crowd of humans like a prisoner. That moment feels huge. Could this be the lead up to his execution? Or will he manage to break free in one last fight? No matter how it plays out, Jake dying actually makes a lot of sense. Thematically, it would be a powerful way to end his arc. He spent years protecting his family, fighting for the Na'vi, and trying to bring peace to a planet that's constantly under threat. In the trailer, he even tells Neytiri that she needs to let go of her hatred, which sounds like someone who's preparing to say goodbye. If Jake dies, it could finally give Neytiri the motivation to become the central leader of future Avatar stories. There's also a chance Jake might sacrifice himself to save Spider. That would bring his story full circle. Once a human soldier, now giving his life to save a human boy who became one of the Na'vi. It would be emotional, heroic, and exactly the kind of twist that Avatar fans expect in a dramatic finale. So even though the trailer wants you to worry about Neytiri and Spider, it's probably Jake we should really be watching. The franchise is moving toward a bigger universe, and new characters like Kiri and Loak are becoming more important. Jake stepping aside, whether by dying or just retiring from the spotlight, would make room for them to grow. It's also worth remembering that James Cameron has a total of 5 Avatar movies planned. Fire and Ash is the end of the original trilogy, but there's more coming after that. Killing off Jake could set the tone for a darker, more mature second phase of the franchise. Plus, it would raise the stakes in a big way, showing fans that anyone can die, even the main hero. At the end of the day, Avatar Z Fire and Ash is shaping up to be an emotional roller coaster. The teaser is already getting people talking, and the deaths it's hinting it could shake the story to its core. Whether it's Neytiri, Spider, Jake, or someone else entirely, one thing is clear. The next Avatar film is going to hurt. And that pain might be exactly what makes it unforgettable.